friends, I said on Friday in my video that we would be starting to read some books about the ocean this week. So this is our first one about that. It's called If Sharks Disappeared. It is by Lily Williams, and it has some really interesting things. I know a lot of you all like to read about sharks, so this is just going to tell us what would happen if we didn't have sharks in the ocean and why we need to take care of them. Even though they might seem kind of big and scary, they have a really important job to do. And it has some illustrations. There's ground sharks, mackerel sharks. If sharks disappeared. This is a healthy ocean. It's a balanced environment where many different animals and plants thrive. The ocean is home to a lot of creatures. Big, small, slimy, cute, and scary. Sharks have helped keep our oceans balanced for about 450 million years. Over that time, they evolved into more than 400 different species that exist today. Sharks are apex predators, which means they are at the top of the food chain in their ecosystem, the ocean. Losing an apex predator species can cause devastating effects in an environment. So the shrimp eat the little krill. This little fish eats the shrimp. There's a bigger fish that eats the little fish. A seal eats the big fish, and a shark eats the seal. Today, roughly between 1/4 and 1/3 of shark species are vulnerable to extinction because of overfishing. What could happen if this continues and sharks disappear altogether? If sharks disappeared, the ocean would no longer be balanced. Although different species have different diets, most sharks typically eat sick, slow, or weak prey, leaving the healthy animals to reproduce. If sharks disappeared, the populations of seals, sea lions, and other pinnipeds would potentially explode. At higher populations, they would eat more and more fish, and eventually, once there weren't any fish left, they'd starve and die out as well. If fish and pinnipeds disappeared, so this is saying, if there weren't any sharks to eat the seals, there would be too many seals. And they would eat all the fish. If fish and pinnipeds disappeared, plankton, which is what many fish that are lower on the food chain eat, could quickly grow out of control. That could make the ocean a thick sludge. Nothing could survive in this water. If the ocean became unlivable, so this is an ocean too full of plankton. If the ocean became unlivable, many species of land animals that rely on the ocean for food, such as seabirds and polar bears, could starve and die out. The loss of those animals could cause still more species further inland to die out. This pattern of cause and effect, called a trophic cascade, could spread like a wave across countries and continents until animals around the globe were affected, from bees to birds to bears and eventually to us. You're gonna have to turn your head sideways for this page. All species depend on one another to survive by keeping our planet's ecosystem in balance. And luckily, today, sharks still exist. Sharks inhabit all the oceans on Earth. There's Pacific, Atlantic, that's the one closest to us. Southern Ocean, Indian Ocean, the other side of the Pacific Ocean, Arctic. If we remember that we are all connected and if we work together, sharks and our whole planet as we know it will thrive. And maybe we'll see that what once seemed so scary isn't so scary after all. So that just tells a little bit about the food chain in the ocean and how sharks are such an important part of it, even for us on land. So hopefully that will make sharks seem a little more important and a little less scary.